Hello, welcome to another video. So I thought I'd pick up where I left off with the last video on the shell course for um, Codecrafters. Just because I have done the base challenge, I thought I may as well look at doing some of the extra extensions and maybe do some voting for some other ones. And I mean, I could just kind of implement some of these just by the look of it. And apologies, you can't really see auto completion too easy unless I do something like this, maybe, and then you can see more. Yeah. So yeah, I guess. Sure. How do we start with this? Go choose yes. I choose you. Okay. Does that mean I just go? I'll go here. Cool. So we want a new built-in print working directory. And so we just need to get the current working directory. I wonder how we do that. So if we kind of clear that maybe. So currently it doesn't do that. I kind of want to do the thing that I did. How do I want to do this? So yeah, maybe I want to do that. Optional experts. Yeah, so currently we do that and we do this if gets. Right, so we are kind of just I mean, I could potentially do it. I could add a cheeky built-in of reload that isn't actually a built-in. It'll just like reload to the source. I would rather that. So I'm thinking it's kind of nice if it just automatically reloads. So it's interesting that this is actually kind of working. So I wonder what type PWD is. It's like an application, so it's actually kind of running there. I wonder. I've actually got some leaks. I should potentially fix some leaks. Where do we get it? We read an arc, but then we didn't return it. Ooh, what did we do in this? We just did PWD a few times and type PWD. I wonder which one it was. So if we do type PWD, that was fine. We do PWD, that's got a leak. So when we're running a command, maybe I'll fix that. Running a command, we read arg. So what was it that I typed? It was just PWD. So we're like not even getting an arg. I kind of want to just do a printf read arg S, and it is also at that address there, and we can probably go like R and maybe even just R. And then if we do that PWD and then back, so it didn't do that print that I thought it would. So I wonder where this read arg is. It's main 61. Main 61. So we return a str there. No, that's just in the read arg. Where do we read? 225. 225. This is the one I want. So command, we hadn't freed at some point. So I feel like we free it there. Do we not? That's if we just have a direct thing. Otherwise, we probably want to do this. Because what's this breaking? This is breaking. Yeah, this whole loop. And we don't really want to break. We want to continue. Oh no, there's a loop there. We want to break that loop. And are we just wanting to free? No, because there's a chance that the loop doesn't find anything and we go down here. But yeah, I'm wondering. I think that should have fixed the leak. So if we do that, we don't get a leak. And yeah, so both of those are fine. Good to fix your leaks. Otherwise, I don't know. But yeah, so what I was thinking was if I do a hot reloading type shell type thing, so when the source changes, it reloads the source, reloads the binary as kind of like a library. So the kind of way you can kind of detect that is we're currently blocking an fget really when every time majority of the time we're blocking an fget waiting for someone like me to put in some commands, or potentially something could get piped to it, so it does get supplied reasonably frequently. But I guess if potentially that might be a yeah, that might be something that we need to watch out for if we do hot reloading, because if I kind of want to change this loop into like maybe a more busy loop, but that's like not really the best. My thinking is I want to basically detect when the source code changes. I wonder if you can like get like a callback of that somehow. I mean, I could just add a thread that have something kind of run in the background, or even just a forked process, really. But yeah, I think it'll be too hard to kind of fandangle, because I had to kind of start with their thing here. I potentially would have done it a different way to allow me to do such cool things like that. But you can always retrofit stuff. So yeah, I think I'll just go with the PWD. So let's add a new command. So if we different keyboard. So what does this? Print the current working directory. So I wonder what happens if you like pass arguments and stuff to PWD. Like, yeah, it doesn't complain or anything. Sad. I guess it could have like help and stuff, but is what PWD is it? Yeah, so in Bash it's a built-in, and it has some help. Interesting. I don't have it set up so I can print stuff like this. That could be kind of interesting at some point, but and I mean, that could be done by kind of requiring another. So I mean, if we look for exit, maybe exit wasn't the best one. We have an exit command. We could also have an exit help, which will print more detailed description of what it is. And this could be sitting up close to where the exit command is, which that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, that's for another day. Let's use a really slow way to get back where I was. So yeah, now we want to do this. So I think I want to find where the type command is. Maybe get it and push in some random keys. So now I kind of want to make a pwd command. So we're always just going to return 0, and I need to get the current working directory somehow. So there's probably a little yeah. So get current working directory. Perfect. So we have a few different things that we can do. So we can supply a buff there. I kind of want to like just, yeah, we have an extension, so we just give it null. It is this like actually posits one, the get current journal name. No, so it's like a GNU thing. And this null thing is like this kind of function. It's kind of weird because how do you know? Well, get working directory. I don't know. Is that something? No, that's deprecated. Like, how do you know how long the buffer is that you need to do? Like, you're asking the kernel for the working directory. How do you know how long the string is to allocate the buffer? I find that's been I suppose we can just have a buffer of path max. Yeah. Makes sense, makes sense. All right, let's do it. I'll maybe make a buffer. Be polite. Path max. So if we get a char buff path max, and we can make you 0 to start with, and we pass in a just that buffer and path max. And is that what we do? And that returns us a pointer, otherwise it will be null. So I guess here we want to get, I guess we'll call it CWD, and if CWD, well, I guess we kind of want to just, well, like asserts are probably a bad thing to do, but like this is kind of, like it should make, if we can't allocate the memory for some reason, we don't have enough memory to be operating a show. Well, like potentially we should allow it to do what? Kill the show and free up a bunch of memory. Though it could help fix something. Right, so if I do this and run that, we can't do that just yet because where do we have to get things from? Past next. Do we not have Unistd? We do have Unistd. So where do we get this path max from? Max. All right, and where do you have a man page? You do not. Right, so the other thing we can do is we can do a grep. So if we do, well, we know it's recursive. So we can search for path max and user include, and that will return us like lots of stuff. But yeah, maybe one of these first ones were good. Yeah, Unistd kind of just mentions it. Goodness. Right, and let's make this grep a little better. Make it like, well, we can just do minus E as well. And so we start with that, and then we have a as we one of white spaces, then we have a define, then we have as many as we want. We have at least one white space, and then get path max, and we'll search for that whole string. So that tells us a little more. So it's in Linux limits, which well, I guess like I can put it in, but it does limit you to Linux. So the other thing is, what did the extension mention about null? So an extension to, it's just an extension to the, oh no, it's only in glib. I don't know, maybe the shell wants to work in many places. Maybe I'll do this path max and I'll just include it. It's yeah, I don't know, it's a bit gross. I mean, the other thing is I could even just call it 496 and we'll have a buffer of this much things, and that's just the buffer that we have. So if we run that, and now we can look at the type of it, and it is a shell function, and it says where we are. Cool. And we can see that it's L1 if we maybe add an S to the end and confuse everything. Cool. So that's looking good. Easy. Done this. So I guess we can, how we do this? We want to get add minus P, ooh, we don't want that. Read R. So we'll take that out and might just split this and maybe we'll get minus P again, get that, and it's a different kind of thing. So maybe we'll commit up this and add UWD built in, and then we'll add that little straggler commit. Six memory leak with holding commands. And then I guess we want to get push. So you might notice that I did all that in my new shell. This little dollar is my little shell. So that's kind of cool. Right, what do we have now? We have CD. And right, so once I set, we can have multiple paths. And so we shouldn't be able to CD to places that doesn't exist. That kind of makes sense. And interesting fact. So it says the CD command doesn't print anything if the directory is changed to. In Bash, you can have a thing called CD path, which if CD path is set, doesn't really say it. No, it does. Yeah, so in the CD is in the man page for Bash. So in this, it kind of does a bunch of stuff with CD path, and the gist is that it prints it out. Which somewhere in that format of text, it probably says that. So we could start a bash and kind of test that. So if we set CD path equal to that, and then I go CD source, it's printed out the home/source just to say where I've been. So that's just something that is happening. And you compare that to when it is not set, it doesn't print anything, it just goes to it. And you see it did actually change the directory, but that's just an interesting little thing. But anyway, so let's head back and try and get our one to have a new thing. So in our built-in section, it would be nice. Well, like where we do this built-ins, we've kind of got it as a static array. We could have it as a we have it as a dynamic array. We could have it as a static array, but I mean it makes more sense, I guess, if it's built in. But it kind of made it easier for me to add it. But I guess maybe now that I have nothing in it, nothing on the go. What's test.sh got going on with it? It's that little test that we did. Hi. So yeah, what could we do instead? That we have that. We could do something like this is built-ins, and it's going to be a array, but we can do this kind of syntax where we just add everything in. But then we probably need to find places that we kind of check for things. Um, uh, how do we check this? We have an array size. No, do we have let's see, array length? No. So how we do this is, well, I'll chuck it in. See array length is an interesting thing. But yeah, then well, I could potentially even do something like that, and it's we'll know we'll know built size. Um, do something like that. And this was the one that I want. So kind of grab this and then find our built-ins. So this whole thing will need to come below all of our things. So I guess maybe we could search for a command. We've got all of these commands. Maybe that help one could be at the bottom just to match things up. So it might be a bit of a dirty commit, but that's all right. I mean, the help one could be one of the first ones. Maybe that makes more sense, and I'll make it so by yeah. Cool. So now all the commands are kind of there, but that means we don't really want all of this stuff. We just want that stuff, and then we want to do a little comma like that, and will this compile? Well, there's still some things that we need to do here. Built-ins size and built-ins I. And here we also have built-ins I. And we don't need a free anything. Right, so does this do anything? We don't have a built-in size. So what we can do is, do we have like a, I mean, it's not our array, but we'll keep our array in because it's actually kind of useful. But we have like a C array length, and you give it an array, and then you want to. So say we have just do size of A, and that's our array length. We'll just pretend that's that at the moment. And I guess like we could just do the maybe the built-ins len. We should just do C array because that's what it's going to be. Cool. So now we don't have built-ins declared. Is that correct? See, now that's an interesting thing because it's not declared yet. And I think if we, put, I'll take a few of these new lines. I think if we put it above everything, yeah, then it doesn't know about help command. I think I want to push you a bunch. and keep it as a uh, dynamic one. Right, so that's me doing that. Cool. So ignore that experiment. Oh, we haven't just saved. Cool. So we'll go down to health built-ins and we'll. I want to find this one. So here I might do CD. Change current working directory. And yeah, maybe I'll put this help up the top just because it was kind of in the middle help command. And so maybe that can go there. And then, I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking things. So now we want to kind of make a, maybe this run program can maybe not that much things, but maybe just this much, that much can get yanked up. And run program, it probably needs read. Yeah, it's taking all the stuff. The read arg. Alright, does it like this? It's only caring about the lack of CD. I think that's all right. Cool. So now we can hopefully find. Yeah. So now the PWD is like right at the bottom. So that's. I don't know if that was important, but that's all right. Now, what do we want to do for CD command? We have a few different cases. So I think first off, it doesn't exist. That's cool. Maybe we'll get out of that. And so there's a few different cases. We can go CD, which we'll do. Just go back to our home directory, and maybe this kind of mentions it. I don't know. I think we're just doing it all at the moment. God. The rest of this is just doing CD things. That's right. So yeah, I guess I'm thinking long term ahead. We can't really have too many arguments. That's all right. So I guess here we can have chart star arg equals read arg, and can we close that? And how do we do the read arg? We normally do it like that. Take me back here. Perfect. Right, so we normally do that, and we save it into rest. That's right, I recall. And so here, if we have arg equal null, we want to change to $home. I think that is roughly how it works. So I think if we do some like curse things like home equals /temp and then go CD, it will CD into /temp as its home. But if we go back and do that, and I think if we do like a curse thing like that, no, so the well, that's done like on the bash level. Potentially, I could do some very cursed thing, and yeah. So now, if I do that, it'll go to. I will reveal that we are indeed in temp when we went to that CD colon. So that kind of looks up what the current home is, but at that point here, this wasn't set. It's just the way Bash does its thing. Right, so if we did have an arg, that means we should potentially check whether nothing else kind of happened. So we should probably assert that the next thing is null. Is that too many things? Something like that, yeah. So we'll make sure that we don't have any args. Actually, no, that's about fair. We will cast next equals this whole thing. And I think if next equal not null, this will be. And what does CD return if I do too many things? It returns that. And if I give it a weird directory, it returns that. Cool. So if next not equal to null, we should probably say printf. And how do we want to do it? CD to many units. And like that, and return 1 because that's an error. Otherwise, we want to change to R, and at the end we want to free R, and I should turn off the setting that does the auto comment because it's not doing what I want. Well, I should configure it maybe. Cool. So first off, we probably also need to check if strcmp r2 is a thing. Maybe even 1. So like if, well, yeah, I'm thinking if just the first character is tilde, it's more that we can tilde slash something. So we really care whether star arg, maybe we could go arg0 is tilde. If that's the case, then that's the case. And I wonder what happens when you go CD to like nothing. That's kind of interesting. Because I don't know, I find it kind of interesting. Like, will I allow going to an empty string? Maybe that does just kind of put you in a thing, and like we can kind of confirm that by doing like a curse thing. Nah, so it's not actually changing the directory. And potentially we can also do like E or because it's not an executable. Yeah, I don't know. Well, does the CD path need to? It's like got a mind of its own. I don't know. I'll give CD path a real thing, and yeah, so it is kind of moving places. Interesting. What if that doesn't kind of exist? And if we're already here, we move there. But if it can't do it, and I don't know, I'm just playing about. I'm playing about. Anyhow, I think it's got to the time Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we need a couple of things. We need to figure out our home, and we already kind of know how to do uh, things like that. So we can do this, except we want home, and I should have done better thing there. And if home is null, I think, like, what if I unset home and then do a CD? It does a little complain. All right, all right, all right. Um, um, and what do you return? So I guess that's all right. Home, not set. And it kind of tells the user what to expect. Otherwise, what do we do? We want to change to that. Um, and like, what if, golly, I'm like, what if we have home is equal to something and we go to that? It just tries to go to that directory. Ooh. Um, so I think I want this to actually be uh like next, because then we can have next equals home, yeah, and we're overloading next here. Next R2. I'm going to call it R2. R2. That makes sense, and we re-arg because we have it, and so at this point here, it's kind of interesting. Because this we don't want to return. Yeah, like this we don't want to free, but um, potentially whatever we make here, we do. So I could like do an str do on the just so I use the memory, but that just seems a little wasteful. The reason why I'm wanting that is this error message is going to be the same if I have an argument or I don't, and I'm just going to the home. Hmm. Oh, if this is the case, next is actually going to be str cat of well, we need to get home first. Golly, what happens? What happens if we unset home again? And we try and go to something like that. But home's not set. How does it know that's home? Like, if we had home equals slash temp and then tried to do that, it would say that. But we have unset home. And yeah, like the bash prompt doesn't know that that's home. I don't know, that's kind of interesting. And if we do this, we can't do that. Huh. So I wonder if that's because if we now go another level into bash, yeah, so home isn't even set here. But I don't have sudo, but that's all right. So now what happens if I try and do that? It does a thing. Um, well, Actually, no. This isn't going to be. We want to get int. That's what's happening. Because what's actually happening is it is getting, I guess, dollar user has Q in it. And if I get int Q, basically, yeah, I can get in password. Q doesn't have my password, but it does have my home folder in it, and it's actually the same as if I go tilde Q and put a username after it. So if I try to go to tilde root, it'll be like, no, I can't get there. Oh yeah, like all these checks I'll have to do. Yeah, there's so many checks. So many checks. But yeah, I guess that means it does get int kind of work. What about as a library? Did I not push that? Where did that? Man might get int. All right. How do you have to like do any random stuff? Man minus k int. Yeah, there's like a million things. Name service. Like there's I don't know how to like really search this. Oh, can we get? Oh, like this might be one of the things that we do. I wonder if we go. That was just. Yeah, I wonder if I can just go name password, but is there like a few of those? No. Yeah, so I need to do a call, see or get in. Um like really like how do I like call this? I mean I can look at glibc, what licenses glibc. You are a GPL2, alright, I shall have a little look see. And see if it is obvious how you get stuff. Like so the problem is it gets like a lot of different things, but can we search maybe for can we search for password? Um put PW int. No, that's not what I want. I want get PW int, I guess. Right, so maybe that's all I need to do. Get PW int. Get PW int. Yep, that is what I want. And it's from PWD. Awesome. And they'll just, it'll pass me a structure to it, which I then have to like, loop through until I find the name, I guess. Did I figure out what happened if I had user equals nothing and I cd to something? I don't know. I'm gonna go bash and like echo dollar user. Yeah, so if I unset user just because I can So echo dollar user and echo dollar home. So we don't have either of those there. That seems to still get to the right place. So it still knows my user. I suppose that's with like get UID. We can do that. So we would get UID. Maybe UID. I don't know which one we would want to do. I'd have to look it up. But get PW int and yeah, we'll need to do that. And so the PW int will just return us a struct to the entity file. I mean, I'm kind of going a bit far, but yeah, that will be, and then something to arg, well, like a pointer to arg one. Or maybe I can just do arg plus one. And so that's going to be next, but we don't really know what next is. So I guess if next, like what home is by, well, I suppose that's a cheaper lookup than looking up who things are. Let me see if username, because if I one, so we know the 0th byte is a tilde. So if it's a string of just one character, the next character will be a null byte. So we're safe to test it that the memory exists. We basically can do this. But if this is not equal to that, we'll do that. Something like that. Yeah. And so I think I'll just do some unimplemented BD to user. That's what's happening there. Otherwise, it's unimplemented like CD to like we need to get the thing. I guess that can just be in there, and we'll need to do something like those two calls. Otherwise, we would like probably have to do something like that, but instead of looking for our UID, we would look for a username. But if we make up a username, it just tries to go to it. Interesting that it doesn't like fail with like that's not a user, because like what if I was trying to go to q slash source, which is a directory in my home directory, and I kind of forgot that I'm actually called qd on this. It would, yeah, that's, well, I suppose how does it kind of know what to do? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So if this all happens, then that's that. Otherwise, maybe we want to just kind of have another function that deals. Yeah, maybe that's what I want to do. I'm just wondering about this free and to free and not to free. Yeah. So maybe I'll have an int cd, and we can actually just call it cd, I guess. And this is going to be the file path. And this is the thing that is going to do the actual moving. So something like that. And then here we can just go cd home, and maybe just return that, because that's that. And then there won't be this next thing, and perhaps we can change this back to be next, and that be next. And if this is not the case, we probably just want to incorrect. Wow, like what's our... We're doing a CD. Maybe we can just get our rect there, and it can default to 0, but we will change it based on what it is. And that way we can just do that rect. And so here we can have, oh, come on, ret equal cd and arg, and that arg will get freed down there. And that you kind of need to do some things. So yeah, it's really just getting this these two type things done. Like, yeah, I kind of want to find the end of the argument before the next. Did I? This feels like the header is off, but it is definitely off. Just feels quite long. I suppose I could derobe. Right, so I guess how do I go about doing this? I don't really need to keep things. I'll start with this one. It might seem the other one, but I take me back to there, and that's what I want. So they're always successful. Excellent. So so what do I want here? And how is an easy way to kind of map this? Like if we do, this is kind of looking up things, and it's kind of annoying. I don't really have anything. I think which should you use over get UID and get EUID? Like which is better in which situation? It's just the man page. I don't know. I think I'll just stick with this. We'll do get UID. So this gets us the our UID. So UID T me equals get UID. And now that we have that, we can get this structure. So we need to get the structure anyway. Struct password, and it's a pointer. So here we're going to have a struct password pointer to equal null, something like that. And maybe this can just be something like that, and that takes nothing perfect. And what's this end PW end? Oh, right, so that's returning each one. Bizarre. And it's going to return all of these things. So I think UID is potentially, I don't know, like I've heard things and I kind of know things, but I'd have to think and I'd have to create a couple of users and experiment and see which one is which. But it's probably not something I'm doing now. So PW underscore name is what we want to search for up here. So I assume it's kind of a null at a point. I can't recall if that's what it mentioned. So return, done that, or null if there's no more entries, or an error occurred. So the error is like if no does that. But I think if that is the case, I just won't care. So we'll just loop until we do this. And if password, so this really did just return us a pointer to a pass struct. Cool. So it is a pointer, and I wanted EW name. So I think if I do an strcmp, maybe in CMP of arg plus 1, is that what I want? So it's got, yeah, so this will point to just after the thing. So we do that. Oh, I kind of want to see, because you have a couple of cases. Like, in this case here, the tilde hue would match tilde hue if I just did strncmp. But the D is kind of important because I either want that to be a slash or nothing. But if I have anything else, it just makes no sense. So I will do str in CMP, and the N is going to be the str len of password pw name. Do something like that, and if that whole thing equals 0, then we want to do this other test. So if arg of, so strlen password. So I think I want to get the length of the thing out here. So does it return? It returns like a size t, doesn't it? Size t len equals strlen of password to pw name. We're using this in a few places. So see to len, and here we want len. Now, do we want, say I had a username of just a, say, so the length will be 1, and so arg, this is just testing the same thing. So we do want the plus 1, which will be this is pointing to the start of the username, and then this will be pointing to the end of the username, I believe. The thing. So I think if it equals that, or well, like, should we do a cheeky little switch? No, if I do a cheeky little switch, then I can't really break out. Do I want to break out or perhaps just return? I can do a return. So if we had / that is okay. If we had a null, that is also okay. So that's just the end of the string, and this will be a extra thing. So we would probably want to do and if it was anything else, then it's not a name. So we will kind of just go through. It will keep on looping. It'll loop there. It'll keep looping, and it'll pull out these two things. And we should probably try just do this. So yeah, I think this frees it if it will do it. It will free it. So if we got to the end of the string, that's real easy. We just need to handily get the we'll do this, and we'll also be freeing arg and then return ret. But where we're cding to is to password, and if we man get pwent again down here, so what does it kind of return? So it gives us pwdir. So we can do that. And if it is a / that we're looking at, what we want to do is actually make a new string. So this can be just user, maybe it's a full path, and this is going to be strcat of well, it's going to be this. So that's going to be that, but it's going to be a strcat of that plus arg plus len plus 1, maybe. We'll figure that out. Right, and then that will also need freeing par. We can even free that there because we have already made use of it, and then we can return there. And if we don't need a default one, so we can save a few characters. Cool. So that all goes up to that else. So I wonder, because we're actually doing that thing, I probably could have. I'm like doing that slow travel thing I'm doing. Just like, she'll be right. Right, so if we do that, otherwise we check if we have too many, otherwise we do this, and this one seems like it's implemented. We have successfully done this, and I think it's going to be kind of similar to this. So once we get the UID me, we just need to find our entry in this password thing. And I think at the end here, it should be unreachable. Because like if we have an account on this machine, we should get it at some point. So here we should, if password, and this has a EWUID, and if this is equal to me, then we're going to like this. Could be a null character as well. I'm just realizing. So I actually wonder whether this whole thing should be a wheel switch as well. And we'll do a case for this, and dash null will do a thing. Otherwise, we'll default to doing this thing. I think. So that is, I need a little more space. So this is when our next character that we're looking at is not a null byte and not the end of the string. Then we just need to go and do some things. But if it is a null byte, then it's going to be this thing here. It will be this thing here, which has like a bunch of stuff. So we don't really need that. And it really depends. If it's a null byte, we can potentially just free maybe just do that up front. This could do with some curly braces. Do we need thing there? I think we need one there. And do this. So here we want to move that unreachable up to there. Otherwise, it has a slash just after it. So we want to do this. And this we can now just return CD to password PW was it home? We can just return that because we don't really need to care about the arg. We've freed it up there. Otherwise, we need to do a thing again, and I'll just wrap it with braces. So I'm wrapping it with braces because I'm using me in both of these cases. And potentially I would do it here as well. It's just kind of good because I'm declaring new things in here, and it kind of means that you can't declare them again. Though it does some funny things sometimes. do. Just want to check on a thing. Perfect. Right, so if I have a look-see at this one didn't need a default because we're like in the middle of a big default. Here we don't want to do this. So here we found a slash after that. So we actually want to do a little str cat of, so this is going to be a char star full path, and it's going to be an str cat of this guy here, full path. So it's going to be that guy there, and it's also going to be arg +1. So that's going to be the end of it. And then we're probably going to save the free full path. We can free arg up that one, and we can turn ret, and it should also be unreachable because we exist on the system. Otherwise, the default branch hits, and we do try and figure out who the user is. So this is user. And they do also two different things depending on. So this can probably get rearranged a little as well. We don't need the arg in that case. We've made use of the arg, comparing the username, and here we just do that little thing there. And if we get out of this big switch, which will only happen if we get out of this default, which will only happen if we get out of this while, that means that we haven't found the user. Haven't found user for to normal CD, which we'll just pull back to there. And so this looks pretty complete, except for one crucial thing. We haven't actually implemented the CD. But I wonder, so like, we have get CWD here. This probably tells us down the bottom that we can, like, chdir. That's like a system level thing, and we are currently in a library. I mean, if it's the best thing, we can do a chdir. We can see if it suggests something else. So what's this fchdir? That seems weird. So you open the directory, then you shift into it. That's kind of interesting. I guess it could make sense for certain things. So what does this return? 0 is success. Otherwise, it is not. And it returns various errors if that is the case. So I wonder whether we want to, yeah, just go for it. The file path. And we can get the int ret equals the response of that. And can we maybe manage down here? And so the return code was 0 and -1. So if less than 0, we are doing a thing and returning 1 just at the end. I think it didn't really seem to So if we say try to go to that, we get a 1. But if we go to somewhere that doesn't exist, we also get a 1. So, but depending on the outcome of error, I guess, which error message we print. So I guess what are the things that shifter can return us? Like a bunch of things. So I think e-access is probably something we should look for. Case e-access, if that is the thing. Bulk IO, that like no. EIO. I wonder if that is something I want to kind of do. Like if I try and that's like yeah, like not a dir. Case E not dir. Or like case E no int. I mean, like they seem to be pretty similar, those two. We can check what things are there. And we can just have a default of like unreachable. I don't know. Maybe we'll do like insert false. Like what's happened here? Something has gone wrong. We could potentially say what the thing is. It is what it is. So if we have no access, well, maybe we'll do this one. We can do and like, is this doing it to we should potentially be doing fprintf cd error, the cd and no such file or directory. So I wonder if we do something like yeah, like will I get a different one? I don't know. And so this is probably just going to be file path, and that can break. These will all just return 1. And this had like a different error. Root permission denied. Permission. And so I wonder if we try to go to some random thing. Cool. Denied. And we can probably pass it file path again. And do that break. I mean, it could be more explicit doing that type of thing. And yeah, it's just now just unreachable. Assert false. Invalid. caught error occurred in CH. There's just what happened. Right, so otherwise, if we success, we should return 0. Cool. Right, so we need to include no.h. Thank you very much. I don't know how to do this. It's doing like the thing. Right, so we're trying to do an assignment where we don't want to. This we maybe just want to call it password. So we'll make use of it. Where is it defined? PWD. Include pwd.h, and I think include this type .h was also needed, but was it actually? Potentially it wasn't. Right, so we can't do what if you just had that wrapped around you. Easy, made you a statement. Right, so how do we do this? We have like CD long way away from home. So I wonder if we just start a new one and maybe make it a little smaller. And where were we going? We were going to personal Codecrafters, and we were looking at the shell one now. And compile and run, we can do stuff. So where are we currently? We're there. If we CD, we've gone somewhere. If we have a look, we've gone to our home directory. What if we try and like go root? Cool, that's doing a thing. What if we try and go to Hue? Where are we? What if we go to temp PWD? What if we try 2 different things? What if we try and go somewhere that doesn't exist? What if we try like that? So we can't go slash and stuff. It didn't like something. So we had unreachable 227, 277, sorry, 277. Why were you unreachable? You got to a slash. Surely you found me. Oh, so I think it's all kind of working. Oh no, because it's doing that. Yeah, so that will do it. Yeah, so I think after we figure out what we do, just get PWN. It is kind of a weird function. It did say that we had to do this like in PWD, or maybe set PWD. Yeah, I think set PWD is what we want to do. Like, I don't really want to like write to it, but it's kind of interesting. And then end PWN. So if we did set PWD just out of curious nature after we find the place we're going to do. Will this fix the right? That was not the right thing. Man, set PW in, and the same for up here. Cool. So if we did the CD tilde and CD tilde again, it's doing it. And if we did CD source, that's cool. So I think we just had to rewind the thing after doing all our thing. And if we search for some random user, it doesn't complain about the random user. It tries to look it up as a file. Cool. Well, that's that. And I think I may have actually. Right, so if we go to CD and then CD source PWD, if we go PWD, alright, what if we do? I think we've literally just done absolute parse and relative parse, and just like that. So we could do something like that, and get an unreachable fun time. So that's in 280. So that's kind of assuming that we have. This is interesting. What's happening here? We don't want to do this, I think. We want to do this cat thing. Right, so what was that? We did like a. Something like that. Boy, it was a bad free. We're freeing things that we shouldn't free. 275, and we shouldn't be freeing full path. Is that correct? STRK. Golly gosh. After the string pointed to by dest. Right, so I think I need to like str dupe the first one. No. Yeah, so I actually need a malloc thing. Is there like a better function that just does this, does what I want? Alright. Chart full path is going to be malloc of str of password pw plus str of arg plus 1. Going to be a malloc of those two, and we're going to just assert that this null, I guess. And here we're copy the string pointed to by source into a string buffer. Concatenates the string pointed to by source after the string pointed by d. Right, so I guess I have to do like a str copy of two full password pw and I kind of just want to do another this, like if I get the size T len, and we can get this to be that something like that. And then we can str copy pass full path plus len and pass arg plus 1. I think that's probably all right. And we have done it ourselves. So we allocate a buffer full enough. We do all the things that we need to do, pad it all up. We really need this to be +1, and we need the full path. And maybe I want this len, or like what I'm wondering is, does this null terminate? Cool. I think that is. It doesn't really say whether it copies the null byte, but it kind of implies it because it's got the +1. Overriding is terminating null byte. That's all right. Right. So if we len, is that right? Yeah. So that's len, and that's really len there. So then we can have this and len plus arg len, and set that to be null. So if both is 0, then it'll just be 0, 0. If one's 1, it'll be 1 after. That kind of makes sense. Perfect. And then we'll do the reps and do that. It's kind of annoying. So where was the other thing that we did? Full path on full path. It was down here. We can probably just do something like that. Right. What do you do now then? So what, they were like trying to go to. That wasn't a directory, but that probably is, and we're in the right place. I think this is kind of getting more and more robust. What else could I extend this? We've broken that. We seem to have broken a thing. So this is when this is happening. Because we this has happened, so we want to do a set. What is it? Set PWN. We have found the entry that we want in the database, so we can reset it back to where it was. So maybe that will do this. No. Am I meant to call that other one as well, the end PW ent? I'll call that as well. And where do we want to set it just in those three places. So cool, that is now doing the right thing. Interesting that that did that actually. Yeah, so it's failed. I think if we get to the end of this while loop, we probably want to do those two functions. But these other two functions, we're just looking for me. And so we should always find me. But I guess if we don't, we shouldn't find me, and it should just be an unreachable thing. But it wouldn't hurt to kind of have it there, maybe. I think after the unreachable is probably more sense because, well, no, I think probably before the unreachable, like it should never kind of happen because if we have an account on the system, we should be able to do things. So we can go to root, we can try and do that. It has done a strange thing. So that is not doing the right case. So I think here the arg one, that is in this case where it's a user. We want to work out what the len is. And here we're overriding the len, right? So maybe I'll call this dir len. We'll make it big enough for dir len and arg len. And arg len should be plus len plus 1, and that should be maybe a bit more correct. So if we run that and maybe try and go to root, we can try and go to ourself. We can get to ourself successfully. Can't do that. We can try go there directly. We can try go there. We can try do something like this and see where we are there. Yeah, that looks like it is doing the trick. Cool. Maybe I'll add this all up. Move to help about, that's all right. Get commit, add cd built-in. And you know what? I shouldn't have actually left the shell. I could have done it from here. But if we go help, it'll say pwd and cd. I didn't touch help. I didn't tell it to do that. Well, I kind of did, but now that we have done the commit, we'll send this on, and this should like just fly through this entire challenge, I think. So we passed that one, and surely like this is like, yeah. Yeah, took a little while. And the hopper badge, wonder what that means. And then the tilde character. I've gone over and above with that tilde character. So this is saying that it should. Interesting lies. It's not actually specified by the home environment variable. And I think, like, if we look at how actual sh works, I think it doesn't have this. No, it does have this. So we can do that. All right, I lied. But what if we unset home and do a CD? Interesting that that worked. And where are we? And so, right, so we can't do that now. Interesting, interesting. I don't know. I've done it like this way, which requires a few more uh, calls. But yeah, it seems like it wasn't always just home. And like we're having to do this PWN stuff anyway for whether it's other users. Um, is this one the right one? Uh, yeah, because that one was just, yeah, easy. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have gone over and above. Ah, test failed. What? How do we get tests? Right, code crafters test. I would have thought this would have passed. Right, so we're there. So I wonder if this is because our EUID and UID. So get P UID. So I wonder if I set that to that instead. I wonder if this will just fix those tests. I know. Interesting that it's doing that. I kind of want to just do a quick little thing in your program. I'm just going to do like ID and who am I, and ID minus UID. Is that what I can do? And then this will it'll just kind of have stuff before if it had the right things. Um, right, so it didn't print any of the things that I wanted. Um, Even though it says it's running my program. Because we're like not able to do the A's and stuff. All right. Um, yeah, but I just do the or. So it didn't do it, but then it did manage, and then right, so it's now checking running. I got you. Your program. I want all of this stuff to be in Codecrafters. I didn't say that. Dot Codecrafters run.sh. That's not it to kind of say who it is and what it's doing. And why it's failing. Yeah, so what do I do? Gosh, it's some busy box. All right. Yeah, so I can do minus U and minus UR, I think is what I want to do. Sorry, I just changed that. Dot code crafted run minus UR and minus U. Minus U and minus U. So I'm guessing that these two numbers are different. That's my hypothesis. That we'll find out when it comes back. So it's both 0 and root. This is interesting. I kind of now want to do an env and then grep for home. And maybe even a grep for user. So it compiles and our home, yeah, so it is expecting us to look for home if it is us. Right, well, I guess that's not that hard to change. So if it's me, we are just looking for home. And we can probably say home not set if that is the case. So that would be the case here. And yeah, we're just seeding into home. Something like that. And if we're in this case, we won't do any of that nonsense, but we will maybe do that as home, and this is still going to kind of append the stuff on. So this is going to be that, and this is going to be C to their home. Arg, we can probably just get out of the way. No, we do have arg there, which makes sense. We were just using it. But we don't need it in that top one. Right, and then we can probably just drop that down to 2, and we don't need to do those two things. Right, so I think this will pass that. It's much of a muchness with different tests and whatnot. I might need to change the all of this stuff to not say hi and whatnot. It's kind of interesting that they went for that. I went for a different approach, but to make the tests pass, I feel like that would probably be good. So I guess I will add that in and get make tilde use $home. It's just what it is for tests. Maybe for this is needed for Codecrafters test suite, which runs as user root, but that's $home, and you fix the shell to use it. That's what it is. That is the reason why that needs doing. Cool. So that should pass up, and yeah, so we got all that. And right, so that is pretty much all of the navigation done. Easy peasy. And I think on that, I'll leave it there and leave you to find another video to watch, I guess. But if you liked this one, feel free to let me know, and I'll make more just like it. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you.